What's going on, guys? This is Kyle with KRPerformance, and this will be the intro video for the newly updated and pretty much revised channel. So this channel is pretty much going to be about the journey or the process of me doing a very unique build that no one never really does, but will be very let's just say out of the ballpark. So without further ado, let me get to showing you what the project is. So this is pretty much the car that we're going to be working with. Yeah, I know it doesn't look like much. You're thinking, really? You know, some kind of grandpa car, some old Mercury? Well, that's the whole point. So this is a 1989 Mercury Grand Marquis. It's pretty much a boat in a sense. I got this car about a year ago. In March it'll be a year, and I got it for a pretty good price, $3,500. Bought it off the original owner, and as you can see, I mean, this thing is pretty nice. And of course, I messed with the wheels a little bit, tried to get that police car look. This car is pretty much all original. 73,000 original miles on it. Original paint, original top, pretty much original everything. It's been actually a really good car, and let me show you the reason why I decided to go with this old Panther platform. So here we have the hood popped on the old Mercury, and yes, if that looks familiar, it is. This is a 5-liter 302 small block Ford EFI, factory EFI, and you can tell I definitely did minor things here. Got rid of the AC, and I got rid of the smog pump. The AC did work in this car, but trying to find parts for something like this is pretty hard, especially when it comes to all the AC components that go from the firewall all the way down to the compressor. So didn't know what was wrong with it. Like I said, you can't really find parts for this thing, so AC is going to be gone. The smog has been deleted. So the only thing pretty much this car has as far as accessory wise would be an alternator, water pump, and the power steering. So you can see it's only got one belt. I did put a cold air intake on it. They don't make one for this car, so this one is off of a Fox Mustang. The plan is to pretty much get rid of this whole MAF, since this car doesn't have a MAF sensor, it is speed density. This is going to have to go, and then I got rid of the washer fluid reservoir because that doesn't work. So take an elbow and get the filter, put it right there. You see where there's a hole in the firewall. I mean, not in the firewall, in the core support. So that would pretty much work. Another modification I did was I got rid of the upper intake manifold, the non-HO upper manifold, and I did get this one powder coated, and I kind of refurbished the nameplate here. So it does have a Fox Mustang upper manifold. This car did come with a HO lower, but a non-HO upper. So I just made the intakes matching, and it definitely helped out a little bit with the performance. So the plan is with this car, just right out the gate, trying to let y'all guys know, is not going to be that crazy. So this is a non-HO motor. I do plan on converting it over to an HO. So what that means is I'm going to have to change the heads, the cam, the throttle body, and the injectors, and the computer. The cool part about it is that a Fox Mustang ECM actually pretty much connects up to this harness, no problem. The connections that go from the harness to the ECM are actually the same. So the only things I would have to do is obviously the heads, the cam, and the intake, but we're not going to put factory stuff on it. The point is to put a Fox Mustang ECU in it, which is already preset for an HO. So that'll give me the option to put, a bigger camshaft, bigger heads, better throttle body, the bigger injectors. So that's pretty much what I have to do, because right now I can't do anything to this car because of the ECU being so restrictive on these non-HO 302s. So that's pretty much the problem that I'm running into. So the plan with this setup as it is right now is just to make 300 horsepower. That's all I'm trying to get, is 300 horsepower. Crazy part about it is this car is actually lighter than any Challenger and Charger. This car is about 300 pounds, almost 400 pounds lighter than a Challenger and Charger, and you're figuring, wait, those are heavy. You figure this thing is a full frame, it's a Panther platform, it should be heavier, right? Well, that's not the case. The materials are a little bit lighter, even though it is a full frame vehicle. So the plan is to do heads, cam, and throttle body and injectors. I plan on running this intake manifold for a while, or I'll probably end up running a Edelbrock Performer 2 or the Trick Flow or the System X, depending on whatever comes first. I do have a set of shorty headers for this car. I did just get them yesterday, so these manifolds right here will be gone. I plan on putting either a built AOD in it, which is what this car comes with transmission wise, or I will have to resort to maybe a Turbo 400, or going the 4L80 route and then having Holley's standalone transmission computer system. So it is what it is. This car does have exhaust, so let's give that a shot and let you guys hear this car. This car does have a Flowmaster Super 10. It has no cats, so that it pretty much bolted to the headers, and then it's pretty much a straight pipe from the factory exhaust manifolds all the way down. So the only thing this exhaust has is a Flowmaster Super 10. So let's hear what this thing sounds like. All right, so here's the interior of the car. The interior is in pretty good shape. I do have some car cleaning supplies over there. This thing is in really nice shape. You can see, there's a picture of my dad. 73,000 original. I know it doesn't have a one spots. How you know if it's original? I know it's original because I bought it from the original owner and they barely drove it. So let's give this thing a shot and see what she sounds like. It's not very loud, but once you get on it, it's pretty loud, honestly. But yeah, like I said, I don't like the super loud straight piped exhaust. I like a nice little grumble with mine. So let's take her out for a drive and see how she rides. All right, drive time. Oh, this car, by the way, I forgot to say in the other part, this car will be getting a 373 gear ratio or 355, depending on what comes first. And it will get a limited slip eventually. So whenever I get to that, that'll probably help with the acceleration a little bit on this car. So let's see if we can roll the window down. Everything does work on this car. Factory power seats, power mirrors. A lot of the stuff is factory, so it's a really, really cool find. So let's give this thing a shot. Jesus criminy. Yeah, you guys may be thinking, oh, that thing only makes 150 horsepower, which it does. Well, it makes a little bit more considering what I have done to it. Like, oh, it makes 150 horsepower. That thing's probably, not that fast. It's the acceleration of this thing. So the difference between this car and the Mustang is obviously it being a non-HO, but this has more torque than a Mustang. So a Mustang makes right around 260, horsepower, 250 horsepower, and I think like maybe 190 or almost 200 foot-pound of torque. But this car pretty much has it's pretty much a truck 302. So this thing has, around 150 horsepower, but almost 300 foot-pound of torque. So the acceleration is, insane. So you put that with, a different ring, different ring opinion, like a 355 or 370 or 373. I'm sorry. Add that with a limited slip. Yeah, this thing will be definitely snappy when it comes to the acceleration. But like I said, I'm just trying to make 300 horsepower with this car. I'm not trying to go, full insane as a temporary setup. This car will eventually, down the road when I get another daily driver, this car will eventually get a stroker motor at 306. And I do plan on, either going nitrous, low nitrous, or a Pro Charger setup. So this thing, eventually will be I don't want it to be stupid fast, but I want it to be like a good street car. So let's give this thing another acceleration real quick. So we're only going with this picture real quick. So we're only going 15. Let's see how fast we can get this thing going. Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, those are the brakes. Like I said, this thing is all original, so it still needs a little bit of work. Has the original brakes, and so this thing definitely still needs a lot of love. But yeah, this thing's pretty quick. We're gonna turn right here. We're gonna give it some sauce. that acceleration and that that torque is just, it's definitely unmatched compared to a Mustang. So let me get to the house and we will conclude the video. Alright guys, so that will conclude the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you guys will find this build, you know, interesting, and I hope you guys stick around to see how everything will go. The next video would definitely be me installing those shorty headers, and then shortly after that probably start working on as far as getting this thing HO ready. So that would mean I'll show you guys when I buy the set of heads, when I get the cam that I want, when I get the intake setup that I want, and the injectors, and hopefully show you guys step by step if you guys have one of these cars and you don't know what to do with it because of, the forums are a little confusing or whatever. I also want this, to be a guide for you guys who have these 79 through 91 Crown Victoria / Grand Marquis in town cars. So hopefully this will be, good little, how do I say, educational video on these cars. Like I said, nobody does it, and it will definitely be something interesting. So hope you guys have a good day, and thank you for watching KRPerformance.